Hi, Kristina Subbotina is here. Welcome to my channel about law and investments. Today I will not be talking about law or investments per se, but instead I'll get a little bit personal and share my story how I became an attorney in the United States, how I graduated at top 10% of my class at the University of Southern California, passed New York bar exam, was an extern to the federal judge, and got my first job as a corporate counsel at a startup straight out of law school. I've had my ups and lows throughout the process, and I'll share them with you. By the way, I have a video in Russian on how to become an attorney in the US. If you do speak Russian, check it out. It will give you a comprehensive checklist on step-by-step process what I did to move to the US and to become an attorney. And after that video, you guys asked me in Russian and in English to record this video and talk a bit more about how I started in the United States and how I got my first job. You asked, I deliver, let's do it. The story began in 2014, when I moved from Russia to Los Angeles, California. From Russia, I rented an apartment in downtown LA, and when I landed at LAX, I drove myself to that apartment and had only 1 week to get settled in a new city of Angeles before my program at the University of Southern California starts. When I visited the USC campus for the first time, I was amazed at how humongous, green, and beautiful it is. It took me a couple of months to explore all of it. In the beginning, honestly, I knew nobody here, even a single person. But I had a dream to become an attorney in the United States. During the first day of orientation, we met with dean, professors, and alumni, and they told us about the process in general, how to succeed at the University of Southern California Gould School of Law, how to choose different courses, how to prepare for the bar exam, how important it is to network to get your first job, and overall successful stories and how education from USC helps to succeed in life. I also met my friends and we had a lot of adventures throughout that time. During my first month at USC, something bad happened. Russian currency, which is called rubles, just crashed. And it was really scary because all my savings and investments were in Russian currency. So I knew while I'm at the USC, I'm not working, and I probably will not be working for quite some time after graduation because I need to prepare for the bar exam, and maybe I will get some internship, which is unpaid. So that was a lot to handle at the time. Another bad news that I received in the beginning, that I did not pass one of the first tests. And the reason why is that I was really used to Russian legal system. I wouldn't say legal system, but legal education. And during my years at law school in Russia, most of my time I would spend memorizing theory, law, books. And in the US, the whole focus of the education is to practice and to apply the knowledge and skill. So at my first exam, I just showed up, I knew the book, I knew the lecture. I really was lacking practical skills, how to apply the theory. That was my first realization about the difference between Russian and American legal education. And I had to do something about it. I had a meeting with my professor, and he's mayor of West Hollywood, Professor Heilman, and he helped me immensely. He said, yeah, it's actually normal that you didn't pass because you're not used to the American legal education and American legal system in general. And he spent some time to just explain my mistakes, explain that foundation that I was lacking. From that point on, I felt much better in general when taking the exams because I knew better. Honestly, for a person like me who just moved from Russia to the United States, everything was unfamiliar. Language, people, as I said, I didn't know even a single person in this country. And he was the first person who told me, yeah, I can see you ask smart questions, you're sharp, and I'm sure you will pass the bar exam. That was the beginning of me believing in that I can handle the journey, I've got this. And another life-changing thing that Professor Heilman said, that you need to smash that like button so you can help my YouTube algorithm. So I passed the first semester exams pretty successfully, and next semester was even better because I already knew the difference between Russian and American legal education, so I was focusing all my time and energy on applying the theory. So when I go to the class, I would take the notes, and then I will make summaries of those notes, and then I'll spend all my time on doing practical questions. So my focus completely switched from memorizing as much as I can to practicing as much as I can. Another thing that I did and that improved my GPA immensely is I took directed research on the subject that I really was passionate about, M&A, mergers and acquisitions. And because I was really into the subject and there was no rush, I got a really high grade. It actually was the highest grade that I got during the years of my law school. So I really recommend taking a directed research if you want to improve your GPA and you're really passionate about a specific topic. And during the last semester, I took my two favorite classes. First is Advanced Legal Writing. This class, in my opinion, is the most helpful class that prepares you for the real practice at a law firm or maybe companies if you're in a house counsel. That was the first time that I understood how the system works, and I was really ready to start my first job. This class helped me a lot. Another class that I enjoyed was Mergers and Acquisitions. At the M&A exam was my second challenge. Specifically during the final exam, I felt that I'm just not gonna make it. I got thrown away by a couple of questions that I thought I got wrong, and in the middle of the exam, I was like, God, I'm really not making it. It took me about 3 minutes to put myself together and give myself a bit of pep talk, breathe and say to myself, I can just do this one more line. And I took that exam one line at a time. I left the exam feeling anxious what would be the result, but at the same time I felt proud that I was able to go on. I didn't expect much of it, but I got one of the highest grades from that exam that I was that close to give up on. After passing the final exams, I got a little bit of celebration commencement. You can see how I and my friends are participating in the ceremony. It was really nice after the finals to take a short break, but the next day I had to start preparing for the bar exam. I was taking Barbri course. Schedule was so brutal. It's every day. You don't have any personal life, any rest, because you have to learn so many subjects in very short time frame. As I was studying every day, I felt really anxious. I was just not sure whether I can pass the exam, whether I can really make it. And that mental place of not being confident and not believing in myself really was hitting me. And in one of the days, the answer came to me through a partner of a law firm. I actually shared with him my struggles, how I'm always thinking about the future, whether I'm gonna pass it or not, whether I'm gonna do it or not, and how I was afraid. And he recommended me a book, Power of Now. That's the most powerful book I think I ever read. I learned how to be present, how to be right here, right now, how to breathe, how to notice when your body gets tense and relax it. Whenever I would start feeling anxious, I would just start being aware of my environment, of my body, of my breath. It really helped me during the bar exam. Even if you know the theory, honestly, it's really stressful and you might not be at your best just because you're anxious, you're tense. So at the exam, I wouldn't say I felt relaxed, but I felt very chill and focused. I felt really aware of my environment and myself, and it kind of made time last longer. I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt that I have more time. I was not in a rush. Although I had exact amount of seconds per question, so I was on a schedule, but it just felt relaxed. And anytime when I feel tense, I would just relax my body and breathe. And there was a magical moment that happened to me in the beginning, before the exam started on day first. Instructor was giving these standard, general instructions that exam lasts this amount of time, these are the assignments, and then my attention got pointed out towards the words
these essays, this part of exam weighs 40% of the total grade. It was obvious knowledge that I think I had, but at that time it just resonated with me so much. I felt like my intuition was telling me, oh, if I can nail this part of the exam, just this 1/4 of the exam, I'm actually gonna pass that. So just minutes before the exam started, I changed my strategy. I actually allocated more time towards essays just because of that phrase. And you know, guys, we're all different. Some people, they like tests more than writing. It doesn't mean that you should be allocating more time to essays. What I'm trying to say here is that when you believe in yourself, when you align with yourself and you have that intuition working for you, you might see some signs and you might be better at implementing those signs. That worked for me. I passed the exam and it just overall felt really nice. I spent much more time on those essays and that worked for me. And then we had ceremony when we got admitted, we became New York attorneys. And the next step, I got my first job as corporate counsel at a startup. But I think we're running out of time. So guys, if you are interested in how I got my first job straight out of law school, please let me know below in the comments. If you are interested, I'll make that video for you. And please don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and subscribe.